You're gonna get bored of that after a while.
Really? Am I? Or am I gonna reward myself for finishing a complete thought with a bite?
Well,
Welcome to Thanks for Watching, everyone. I'm a little out of it today because I stayed up till 3 a.m. watching Broadchurch, and now I'm just trying to compensate with greasy food.
all great decisions. We'll be talking about the movies we saw over this holiday, what we're recommending, what we're not so much recommending.
You wish to have a curse reversed?
I'm thinking that we should do 30-second movie reviews.
I would agree.
Okay,
Let's go 30 seconds talking about the interview without mentioning the words Sony hack.
perfect.
Look at this.
Kim Jong-un wants to do an interview with Dave Skylark?
He's a fan.
So I was expecting a stupid comedy walking into the interview. I did not expect the level of stupidity that the interview delivered. The jokes were wildly unoriginal, I'll say that. And for someone like me who's enjoyed Pineapple Express, who actually really enjoyed This Is the End, the last two
Neighbors.
Rogen-Franco collaborations, this was a huge letdown. And it has nothing to do with the hype that was built up around it. I was looking forward to this film before all that came out. I would not recommend spending your money on it, whether it's VOD or in a theater. The bromance is real, and it's getting really old.
Ooh, that was a good finish on that.
Thank you.
That was a nice finish.
Thanks.
Is that what people say about alcohol? A nice finish. 30 seconds on The Imitation Game.
You will
Never understand the importance of what I am creating here.
I saw it, I loved it. It reminded me of The King's Speech, had a similar vibe, kind of an underdog man in some way who's doing something amazing for his country. Benedict Cumberbatch is amazing.
It's performing better than The King's Speech at the box office, with, I think, less hype so far.
Agreed. And arguably not as big of a name. I mean, I think Colin Firth at the time was a bigger star than Benedict Cumberbatch is now.
I mean, Cumberbatch is...
Cult.
He's cult. He's in right now. Colin Firth is kind of a...
He had a longer career.
He's an institution
Yeah.
in British.
Do you have a Colin Firth man crush?
Maybe. I have a Cumberbatch man crush. I mean, who doesn't? I'm not afraid to admit that. I'm going to talk about a film that I think should be getting Oscar buzz that I really haven't seen getting Oscar buzz, and that's Whiplash.
I push people beyond what's expected of them. I believe that is an absolute necessity.
It's entertaining, it's inspiring. It might be the classiest film I've seen this year, and definitely one of my favorites, if not my favorite film of 2014.
Really?
Absolutely. It's about a jazz musician, a student at a fictional school in New York, Schaefer, played by Miles Teller, who does an excellent job. J.K. Simmons is a very strict teacher. It's very laser focused on its two leads and its main storyline, which is sort of this rivalry between student and teacher. The last 20 minutes or so just knocks it out of the park entirely.
In knowing that it's about jazz, when I watch the trailer, I feel like the filming of it screams jazz, like something about...
It's very much about jazz. If you love jazz, you'll love this movie. I will say it's not just about jazz. It's really about innate talent and work ethic.
And throwing chairs at your students.
Throwing chairs.
We got Buddy Rich here. Little trouble there. You're rushing. Here we go. 5, 6, and... Were you rushing or were you dragging?
I don't know.
That scene, by the way, within the context of the film is even more devastating and brilliant than it is on its own.
WWE meets jazz school. Into the woods.
Into the wood.
Into the wood, as Meryl Streep says.
The slipper as pure as gold.
Go to the wood.
I think the general critical response I agree with, which is the first 2/3 of the movie are good. The last act, it's like, what happened? I dare say, this will be controversial, too much Meryl. Meryl's got like 4 songs.
How can there ever be too much Meryl?
There can be in the wood.
Go to the wood.
She just sings a lot and they all run together. Go see it if you're tired, because then it's like you'll be awake for the first 2/3 and then just fall asleep.
Do you think the wedding is hurting me?
Are you kidding me? Andre, this thing flops.
We could be talking Dancing with the Stars.
So top 5, I am gonna be in the minority here because 90% of critics via Rotten Tomatoes aggregation approved of this movie. I laughed like 3 times. The trailer made it sound like it was a going back to your family, discovering yourself movie, and it's not that at all.
So it's a comedy that did not really make you laugh.
It's a comedy that didn't make me laugh, and is there a worse review to get?
That was
That's
actually
it.
pretty much 30 seconds. We are binge watching the holidays, as I'm sure many of you are. And my top recommendation is Broadchurch. It's on Netflix now. It's a British series about a child murder, which if it's a British drama, it's got to be about either a kidnapping or a child murder. They have dark tastes over there.
We are treating Danny's death as suspicious.
Do you think other kids are in danger?
Maybe.
It's based in Cornwall. The whole story is set in Cornwall, southwestern Britain, which is really beautiful.
It is beautifully
Atmosphere.
filmed.
Yeah, beautiful cinematography, very, very well acted. David Tennant, and what I would say is the lead role, and just an incredible Scottish accent from him.
Where were you on the night of Danny's death?
Explain to me why that's a relevant question.
Explain to me why it's not.
It's a taut mystery, murder mystery, with a lot of really compelling players.
It is the reason I'm exhausted right now. He told me about the show and I watched 5 episodes last night.
I told you about it yesterday evening, and you've watched 5 episodes.
I like to solve a mystery, but I think the Brits tend to be more reserved. The characters themselves aren't naturally as outspoken culturally. It's the way the writing is. So you have a harder time here.
It's very tough to
calling
read.
it.
It's very tough to read these people.
Yeah.
Everyone in the show plays it pretty close to the vest in a way that makes you think that anyone might be responsible for this murder.
And you told me that you bummed yourself out because you accidentally...
I actually spoiled it for myself. Don't read the Wikipedia page. I was trying to figure out more about the setting and where it was filmed, and on Wikipedia, they slip it in there. They're like, the producers knew the casting of this character would be important because...
And I think it speaks to the show that even in knowing the outcome, you were still into it.
Still very compelling. Absolutely.
You want to say who it is right now, don't you?
Yeah.
Broadchurch. It's broadly appealing.
Oh, God.
Sorry, I'm so tired.
Is there anything you want to tell me now? Is Danny all right?
I will say the first episode is tough because it is about a child who is killed. And the first episode you see the parents finding out. How do you make that real and not insensitive? How do you make it compelling to watch without being too hard to watch?
Right. How do you make it feel real and still be palatable? And they do an excellent job of that.
Yeah. I'd like to end this by saying that Steak and Shake is not a sponsor of this video. But if they're interested, I like cheese fries and money.
What's it called?
We want to start watching a few new shows with you guys. One of them will be Girls, which premieres in just a few weeks or so.
Honestly, I feel like I made the right decision, which is a totally new sensation for me. I mean, I'm eating grapes as a snack.
Thanks for watching.